Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your July 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Cross spread as always, and I also put an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. But we're going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So let's get that done. Okay, so we have Scorpio, so focus will be on you guys this month. We also have the North Node, which is actually in Gemini, which is your 8th house, so that's the house you guys naturally rule. And let's see. And we have 2, so 2nd house of finances, that's Sagittarius for you guys. Nothing really going on there too much astrologically speaking. We did have the eclipse there, the full moon eclipse at the end of May. And we do still have the South Node there, but other than that, it's going to be pretty quiet. But could definitely be a focus on finances for you guys. All right, so keep that in mind as we go through the spread. In the main situation position, we have the Ace of Cups. So this could just represent new love offers potentially, or also just creativity in general. You know, this is definitely a fertile creative energy within this card. Now this could just be saying that you might have some ideas flowing around that, you know, maybe some creative projects you're thinking of taking on. You did have Jupiter dip into your 5th house, so maybe that sparked some new ideas for you, or possibly had some new romantic offers coming your way, or at the very least that's where your focus might have shifted. And you know, it's going to be retrograde soon, and it'll be retrograding through those first degrees of Pisces and then back into Aquarius toward the end of July. But you know, you are still going to have that 5th house energy for a bit in there, so it could just be pointing to that. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the 6 of Cups, so this is actually Scorpio energy here. And this could just be saying that, you know, the challenger obstacle, well, I can see this playing out a couple of different ways. Could just be saying that there might be some new opportunities coming your way, but you might have recently reconciled with someone. For example, maybe during the retrograde, right? So there could be some push-pull there where you're like, all right, was this the right move to reconcile, right? Maybe you have some new offers coming your way. For others of you, could just be saying that it might actually need to, might need a fresh start within an existing connection. So maybe you've had a falling out with someone, for example. Could just be saying that the challenge there is to actually have someone extend the olive branch. When I see this card, I sometimes refer to it as the being the bigger person card, because it looks like there's a size difference between the 2 people there, and it looks like he's actually extending a cup to the other. So it could just be pointing to that too. And since this is Scorpio energy, it could be any type of connection in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be family. Actually, for some of you, I am picking up on family vibes here more than relationship, but that's what I'm seeing there. And I would say if this is around creativity, if you're feeling a bit blocked in that area, it could just be saying to reconnect with something that you might have been passionate about as a child, or possibly just take a more childlike approach to whatever creative project you're working on, and that could actually get things flowing for you. All right, in the foundation position, we have Strength in reverse, which is Leo energy, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is Jupiter energy. So, of course, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, my mind goes to the fact that, like I was saying, we're going to have Jupiter retrograde moving through back into Aquarius. And then we have, so for you guys, that's your 4th house. And then here with the Leo energy, that's your 10th house. So maybe there was a job opportunity you guys might have been looking at, and maybe there could be some delays around getting that started. It could just be saying that, you might actually require that Jupiter retrograde to take place. So for example, let's say you got some kind of a great job offer, but it might require you to move, but you might be encountering some blockages around the actual move itself. So it could just be saying that, as Jupiter moves back into your 4th house, you might have some better opportunity there as far as finding a place to live if you wanted to take the new job offer. That's just one super generic way it could be playing out. For others of you, could just be saying that, energetically, you might just feel a little bit drained right now. And if that's the case, you might feel like you're down on your luck, right? Maybe you feel like things aren't working out for you right now. I feel like this is definitely just pointing to some blockages you guys might be feeling. And I don't necessarily see it being a long-term thing, but obviously while you're in it, it might feel like it's going to last forever. Past energy, we have the Four of Swords. So this is actually Libra energy here, which for you guys is your 12th house. And with this, given that it is 12th house, I feel like it's more of an emotional type of healing versus a physical healing. For some of you, might have been a physical thing you've been healing from as well, though. But here I see this as pointing to you guys being a bit introspective, really taking the time to reflect. I think your title for last month's reading might have actually been about healing too, so could just be pointing to that, of course, saying that you've been going through that energy. Of course, that new moon eclipse that we recently had in your 8th house, that could have been significant. But that's what I'm seeing there. All right, in the present position, we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, the Sun, which, we tend to look at this as another type of Leo energy since they're ruled by the Sun, but technically it's just that energy as a whole. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy. So, interesting energies here. I mean, these are two really positive energies, right? The Chariot, about forward movement. The Sun, a very light, playful energy there, pure as well. But then we see the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, here's one way. For some of you, I have to say this might have been possibly a depression you guys have been going through. Obviously, that's not going to be the case for everyone, but the reason I say that, we see the Strength in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and I was saying for some of you might feel like you're down on your luck, right? Things aren't working out, and seeing that we do see the Four of Swords in the past, looks like you were healing from something. And to see the Chariot and the Sun here, like two really positive cards, and then to see that Two of Pentacles, which looks like vacillation, right? Like, I'm not sure, right? So I feel like this is saying you might have a really good opportunity coming your way. I feel like it'd be more of a karmic thing too with the Chariot and the Sun, but you could still be unsure about it for whatever reason. So, just be on the lookout for that. If that's your story, obviously you'll know what I'm talking about there. For others of you, this could just be saying that, you might have forward movement where you might be being nudged to move forward in the situation by the universe. You just might be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities that this is where you should go, right? This is the move you should make, for example. But then there could be some vacillation around, oh, well, I'm not sure if I want to make that move, right? Or I don't know if I want to communicate, right? Like I was saying, for some of you might need to extend an olive branch to someone. I'm not sure if I'm ready to communicate yet, since for you guys this represents third house energy, Capricorn. So could be pointing to that. But yeah, keep in mind, obviously, these two major arcana energies are definitely more powerful than that Two of Pentacles, so I have a feeling it's going to shift you out of that anyway, but you might just be feeling that push-pull for a bit. All right, in the near future position, we have the Five of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, and the Page of Cups. So I do have to say, we see the Four of Swords in the past, and we see the Three of Swords in your position. We'll get to that in a bit. And now we see the Five of Swords here. So I do have to say, on the one hand, if you are feeling that, right, where, like I said, if you feel like you're just being nudged to move forward on something, but maybe that Two of Pentacles is saying that you feel like deep down you're not ready, you might be right in that regard, because with the Five of Swords here, to me, that represents, I always say with the Five of Swords, what always stands out to me is the person's holding three swords. It's like, in what situation would it benefit you to have three swords? Right now, if you're holding two, okay, that would make a little more sense. But holding three, if you actually have to fight those people off, that's not going to work out too well, right? So to me, that always makes me think of the Three of Swords. And so what I usually see with this is it usually represents someone who hasn't done the healing process, right? That Four of Swords. It's like bypassing that process and maybe even not even aware that they haven't gone through that healing. But because of that, they could end up in these repeat cycles of conflict and whatnot. And for you guys, this is fourth house energy too. So it could be in a family dynamic too. Could be friendships also and romantic, but I'm feeling more family here for some reason. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So yeah, for some of you, that could very well be what you're feeling there. So, I'm looking at the Chariot and the Sun. I'm like, well, why would you be hesitant with that Two of Pentacles? And especially since that does represent communication for you guys, could just be saying some of you deep down, you're not ready to speak up yet, right? So, maybe there's some kind of So, but just a super generic example, maybe there's some kind of family reunion, right? And there's someone that you had a falling out with in your family, and you're like, I really don't want to go, right? But maybe everyone else in the family's telling you to go, but deep down, you're not ready to see this person again yet, right? Could be one of those dynamics there. If that's the case, I'm kind of with you on that. Yeah, so, if you're not ready, it might be best to not communicate just yet with that person. I do want to say that. For others of you, though, if this is an offer coming your way, be on the lookout for this too. With that Page of Cups, I have a feeling like intuitively you might know that something seems a bit off about the offer anyway, if that's the case. For example, given that I was saying we had fourth house energy here, let's say someone makes an offer on a home. If you're trying to sell your house, they might give you a really low offer, right? So be on the lookout for something like that. Or if you're making an offer, just really make sure you know what you're getting into with that too. All right. The position of your influence on a situation, we have the Three of Swords, which is Libra energy, King of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy, Page of Pentacles, and Justice, which is Libra energy. I feel like you guys might have had this in this position last month as well, the Justice card. Maybe I'm wrong, but if so, you might want to just rewatch that reading because there could be some significance there because I'm still seeing a lot of Libra energy, right? And again, being 12th house energy, that could point to spirituality, but in a more negative sense, could also point to blind spots and mental health issues. So, seeing this here, though, looks like this could just be saying there was some disappointment where with that King of Pentacles and then seeing the Page of Pentacles right beneath it, could just be a financial offer that you might have received and it turned out to be not what you thought. So again, like I was saying, just going back to that generic example of a home offer, maybe someone made you this amazing offer initially, right? Knowing that they weren't going to be able to come through with it. And then all of a sudden now they're going to like try to change the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we'll offer you 400,000, and then all of a sudden the story changes to 320,000 or something like that. You're like, okay, seriously? And for some of you with the Justice card here, could just be saying for some of you, depending on the situation, you might actually want to pursue it legally. Obviously, that's not going to be the case for everyone. That's probably a very small percentage of you, but it did come to my mind. For others of you, now, given that this does represent your opposite sign of relationships and partnerships, with the Three of Swords there, it could just be saying that, maybe you thought that you were on a certain pathway with a person, where it was heading to a more stable long-term commitment, and then it might have ended up slipping through the cracks for whatever reason, and now you're waiting to see balance restored in that situation. If that's the case, could just be as simple as the retrograde energies where you're dealing with the eclipse energies. Everyone was probably a bit out of sorts in some way through all of that because, there was a lot going on. But if that's the case, with the Justice showing up here, could just be saying that that's a heavy focus on your mind, but also seeing it come up in your position could just be saying that, justice can be done for you guys this month too. All right, in the environment position, we have the Six of Swords. So now I would say on the one hand, what this Three of Swords could be pointing to, given that we see this in the environment, could just be saying that if you do engage in that Five of Swords energy where you kind of feel like it's coming on, but you still engage in it anyway, could just be saying that might lead to a bit of heartbreak for you guys. But if you were to avoid it, we see the progression to the Six of Swords, right? So the Four of Swords is a pretty stable energy, Six of Swords even more so. So it could just be saying, if there's some kind of disputes, especially if it's around your home and family environment, might just be best to try to avoid those this month. And again, like I said too, when it comes to moving, if whether it's you guys who are making an offer on a home or someone's making an offer on you, just be careful around that this month. Keep in mind there's actually going to be 2 full moons this year in Aquarius, which is your 4th house. There's going to be the one at the very beginning of Leo season toward the end of July, and then there's going to be one in August as well. And I would say the August one might be a better one for you guys as far as if you're trying to make some kind of a move, because it's going to be close to Jupiter. So something to keep in mind there. And not to mention Jupiter is going to move back into Aquarius as well. So you could have a bit more luck finding a place in that regard or finding a better buyer, things along those lines. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So I feel like this is saying, again, I'm getting the home environment feel for some of you guys, but it could just be finances in general, given that we do see the second house came up for you. But this Four of Cups in reverse, I feel like this is just saying you're hoping to receive an offer that you're actually happy with, right? With the Four of Cups in the upright, we see that there's disappointment around what's being offered. So this is just saying that most likely you guys are hoping for that right offer to come along, and maybe it hasn't happened just yet. But like I said, the energies might ease up a bit as we get toward the end of July, and especially, like I said, that second full moon in Aquarius could be beneficial for you guys in that regard. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Two of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess in reverse. So now, you wouldn't necessarily want to see these cards come up in reverse, but I will say, given what we discussed already, I do see this as a positive, because to me it's pointing to you guys knowing, intuitively, you might say, all right, like, something feels off, right? With the High Priestess in reverse, you might not be fully sure, but you just still might feel like, okay, something's not right here. And due to that, I feel like this is saying you're not going to make a move just yet. So that's what I'm seeing with these two cards come out in reverse. If it was in the upright, it could just be saying that you intuitively felt like deep down, like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to make a move. But here I feel like it's saying that you're still not 100% sure, but you're like, but you know what, to be safe, I'd rather just not move on this yet. So that's what I'm seeing there. Bottom of the deck, we actually have the Star card. So again, more Aquarius energy here, more fourth house energy for you guys. So like I said, there is that potential for some healing in your home and family environment. But I'm just getting the vibe that it might not be this month. Like I said, the fact that there is that second full moon that we're going to have in Aquarius, that's kind of a rare thing when you get two full moons in the same time. So that could be some significance there, that if this is around family or your home environment, look out for August as a better time to possibly, get that squared away. But that's what I'm seeing there. All right, moving on to your Oracle card, we have a change in the wind. There's the artwork, and the number is 12. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, it says a sensed and unseen change has been initiated, preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. The Oracle's message: it's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation, as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. So, what was interesting to me about that, when it said anticipate it with curiosity, made me think of that Six of Cups energy. And then seeing that and what it was talking about, changes, and with that Ace of Cups, could just be saying that, try to remain open and curious when it comes to new opportunities coming your way. All right, the relationship message says relationships go through periods where partners seem out of sync with each other, and stormy emotions and moods threaten to take down the ship. Perhaps someone has a change of heart and leaves. These rough seas offer opportunities for mutual growth, a way for you to understand your own heart, and to know what you need to truly be happy. Rest assured that whatever is happening now, good will come from it. Take temporary shelter and remove yourself from drama. The air will clear and everything will be fresh and new again. This too shall pass. So, take temporary shelter, remove yourself from drama, definitely made me think of that Six of Swords energy, right? As opposed to, we do see the Three of Swords there, and we did talk about, karmically, I feel like it'd just be best to avoid conflict if you can, right? Sometimes it is unavoidable, but hopefully that resonated. All right, the prosperity message says, as you endeavor to create a prosperous life, you may encounter unexpected reversals that cause you to shift directions. This is a good thing, so there is nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you sought went to someone else. Perhaps you pursued something that you suddenly realize is not in your highest good. You might not be 100% clear on where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now. Wait it out. All will be well. Even better, actually. Trust. So, pretty positive message there too, and I feel like that did point to some things we saw in the spread, like the strength and wheel of fortune in reverse, like we said, and even seeing the chariot and the sun, but then that two of pentacles beneath that, like that hesitation, could just be a timing thing for sure. And like I said, I'm really feeling some significance around those Aquarius full moons, that that first one might be a bit bumpy, but that second one should be a lot better for you guys in August. So hopefully that resonated with you. All right, and finally, we have a Mudra card for you guys. So the Mudra you got for this month is the Trishula Mudra. There it is there. And the keyword for it is destruction. Alright, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. But under benefits, it says removes obstacles on the spiritual path, serves as a spiritual weapon against ignorance, laziness, doubt, egoism, attachment, and aversion. So if that sounds like something that would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of the Mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. Alright, bye.